The biggest thing that I would tell anyone who thinks they have low charisma, you don't actually have low charisma, you have low self-esteem. They just gave everything to me because they assumed I was a medical professional because I said the right words.
It is so much easier for me to introduce somebody else than it is for me to introduce myself, because I'm like...
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. These events are great for skipping corporate bureaucracy.
Oh, I said that earlier. It's 30 emails worth of BS in 10 minutes.
Well, it's not even that. It's, you can walk in. I'm going to pick one of the most fun people to talk there, for me personally, Tony from Duet.
Oh, I was going to go with Luke from Big Tree Tech.
Oh, no, he's just a blast. But
Tony's good too.
Me and Tony,
we
kind of vibe way too close and have very similar like thought patterns.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry, Tony, I have confirmed I have killed the screen. I do not know what I've done to it, so I'm
there's
sorry.
A story there, but probably not one for airing it.
Nope.
Dude, if you're developing a product for this industry, those RepRap Fests are the cheapest market research you could ever do.
They are great.
Like, oh, your key target audience is going to be there, and a lot of them are paying to be there. Hell yeah. And yeah, you might get some random British guy telling you you're an idiot for doing something, but you can listen to that.
It's out of love. And I actually said, like, hey, give us an email. We will give you the relay that will not overheat on this.
Fair.
Because that's what these events are about, is helping everyone else.
Reliance says, yeah, that talk still nerves about just asking that. Yeah, that's fair. And if you are someone that wants to talk to these companies, and I am not in the middle of filming something. If I'm in the middle of filming something, please wait till we're done. I am happy to introduce you to whoever, right? It's no big deal. I don't care. I pride myself with being someone that will open doors for people because I believe in it. And if you can make something, I will open the door for you, but then I'm stepping away, right? It is then up to you to continue that conversation. I'll say, hey, this is so-and-so. They happen to be a fan. They were trying to talk to you. They're a little nervous. Thought I would open the door for them and show them that you are not a bad person. You're not mean or whatever.
It gets the grant seal of approval of this person is worth at least hearing out.
And as Matt's Makerspace says, imposter syndrome is such a hard thing to overcome. It is. We've actually had an actual therapist.
It doesn't go away.
We've had an actual therapist who is a maker in the industry too, which is what I love, on the show to talk about this. We got to have Nick back on. I always look, I have a book on a shelf. It says, I'm so successful. Why do I feel fake? Why do I feel like a fake? The Imposter Phenomenon by Joan C. Harvey, PhD, with Cynthia Katz. It's an involved book. You don't have to read it if you don't want, but I keep that book in iShop because it reminds me that I'm not the only one that feels this way. And
can you send me the link to that book? Because I think I'd want to read that.
It's a good book. It's very technical, so you might like it. But yeah, imposter syndrome is tough. I mean, dude, I deal with it. But I find it so much easier to say, oh yeah, hey, this is Joe Prusa, you know, this is so-and-so, you know, talk to Joe. Now, Joe and I have been friends, so maybe that's not the perfect example, but it is so much easier for me to introduce somebody else than it is for me to introduce myself. Because I'm like,
yep,
who the hell cares about me? You know, like I'm nobody special. And if you meet me in person, you realize I'm the same person. Like you realize this, I'm the same person off camera that I am on camera. I am slightly more composed on camera, but that's it.
No, you are less composed on camera.
But yes, feel free to come up to us. And it's the only way you can get a pin. The only way you can get one of the Victoria pins is to meet us in person. You have to come up and say hi to get one. So if there's anybody you want to meet, please do. And the Diamondback guys will tell you, I'm always happy to open doors. We were the ones that introduced them to E3D that started this big relationship that they have now.
Yep.
You know, and I don't want credit for it, but they keep giving it to me. And since they keep giving it to me, I might as well use it as well. And you know, you will find that people in this industry are some of the most real people you've ever met. And they're just trying to get to that next level. So we're always happy to.
Yeah. I have yet to meet anyone other than a single CEO that I met, but that's because they came from big money downwards, that has not been genuine. Like just a person trying their hardest to do something good. And it's a weird thing to put like into tangible words, but it's like the same, like Joe Prusa, for example. Even though he runs one of the biggest companies in the world for additive and has all these employees and is praised by everyone, he's just a person and he's a lovely guy and you can talk to him and it's a normal thing. It's not like they are this glowing beacon of whatever. They're just them. And it's the same with everyone that I've met, like all the guys at 3DQF, where they're like, we've made this really amazing material and all this. And I'm just there like, want to go to pub?
I'm like trying to think of somebody who I've met that doesn't also have imposter syndrome in this industry. And I can't think of anybody. Like
I have it so badly. And I actually know why I have it a little bit. It's because I play D&D. And D&D taught me something that has been the most invaluable thing for my entire life. How to randomly spout slightly charismatic bullshit. So you can say the right things with the right tone and the right emphasis. You can open the doors with a bit of social engineering and all of a sudden, like, people view you as being a lot more successful than you, like, realistically are.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, it's like one of the times. So I met a friend, this is a couple months ago. They were a new friend at the time. They didn't know about how just I'm a regular person. They only met me a couple of times and got told, I run a business, and that was it. I'm like, cool. They went to hospital with a family member, and me and Rosie, we went out to their hospital just to make sure they've got like amenities. And we realized the mum of this friend wasn't put on a drip. Like, they should have been on a drip like 6 hours ago. Mm-hmm. They weren't put on a drip, and they weren't scheduled for being put on a drip either. And they've tried to get them on a drip, and the NHS, because it's terrible, free but terrible, wasn't really prioritizing the woman at all. They were just being like, no, doesn't need one, blah, 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 blah. And I just like walked up to like the nurse station, and because I know Amber and we talk a lot about medical, I have a couple nurse friends. I know the lingo, I know the attitude, I know the stance. And I was just like, hey, can I see the chart for this person? Can I do this? Can I do this? They just gave everything to me because they assumed I was a medical professional because I said the right words and I just have a slight interest in biology.
Yep.
And then they asked me if I was like a medically trained, which is part one. So I can say, yes, I am medically trained, not in medicine, but in other aspects. Medically trained.
I'm just
and
Florida
do I
man.
work here? And I said, no, I don't work here, but I am medically trained, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, cool. So I looked at the chart. I'm like, yeah, you know, this woman was supposed to be on a drip 6 hours ago. It says it in the notes at the bottom. Can we prioritize this room and seat this? Yep. Can we also get like SATs being done? And I need to see what her SpO2 level is. And they're just like, cool, on it. I went back 5 minutes later. The entire room got reprioritized. And I'm just sat back going like, I don't know what I've just done. It wasn't that big. I just talked to a woman nicely.
Valuable is valuable.
With respect.
Yep.
And then my friend, who hasn't known me very long, from their perspective, I walked out sternly because I was like, I need to do a thing.
Yeah.
Came back in, and then 5 minutes later, 6 nurses showed up to do the entire room. And they're just like, what did you do? I'm like,
you'd be surprised. Like, Reliance as my charisma is 1, more the barbarian that wrecks the door as I don't fully think about the proper social cues. Brother, you're going to an event that benefits a charity for neurodiverse youth. You ain't alone. You ain't alone.
Also, you ain't charisma 1. Trust me,
Jacob,
you ain't charisma 1.
Jesus Christ.
Now, the biggest thing that I would tell anyone who thinks they have low charisma, you don't actually have low charisma, you have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
It's why when you drink, your charisma goes up. It's not you drink, it's you stop thinking too much about the consequences. You're like, oh, this worry. Drinking stops the worry, meaning your charisma goes up. It's all about confidence. And when you I learned it through playing roleplay games, fake confidence. Because when I'm role-playing a character that is confident and my player is like, this might kill my character, the character is acting, this will be fine. So you fake your confidence in your voice acting.
Reliance, of all people, knows. One, you don't have a charisma of 1. I've watched you talk with people, and you know that I will introduce you to whoever you want to meet. I don't care. Like, if that means I have to flex the fact that I have a YouTube channel to get you to talk to somebody, I don't care. You know, look, I want to be the person that I would want to have if I was in somebody else's position. I'm in a position where I know a lot of these people personally, and I want to use that to help them meet other people personally. There are good things that can be done here, and it doesn't just have to be, oh, because you're a content creator. Who the hell cares? I know these people because of my YouTube channel, but that doesn't mean because you're not a content creator, you don't have value. No, let's get you to talk to these people. You know, the one time, the one I will always remember is at Rocky Mountain. I was talking with this dad, had his son with him, and the dad, huge fan of the channel. And all of a sudden, the kid starts pulling on his dad's shirt, says, Daddy, that's a 3D printing nerd. Joel had just walked in, and there's a huge line, right? And I said, you want me to make your son's day? He's like, can you? I'm like, let's go. And I bring him right to the phone line. I say, Joel, this kid wants to meet you. And Joel says, that's awesome. High five, dude. And he gives the kid a high five. They talk for like 30 seconds. The kids, I mean, it smiled from ear to ear. And, you know, I'm like, oh, yeah, I see. I'm not Joel Telling, but I can introduce you to Joel Telling. And the dad said, thank you. You have no idea how much you've made the kid's day. And that's all that I care about. That's all that I care about. I only care about helping other people. So,
I mean, an end-of-life video, like an autopsy video, on like the interesting design that went into how to build it. That would be fun.
That's what we're gonna do. See, if you were still single, I would have raffled off a date with you, but...
Hey, look, you can still do that. Rose will be fine with it. Money is money.
J.E. Palmer says raffle off Jacob. Yeah, the old Polyjet